Hey guys, AJ Casada here, co-founder of Revenue Boost, and the email marketing game is changing. It just changed dramatically in 2024 with Gmail and Yahoo's new updates. So if you didn't already know this, you gotta know Gmail and Yahoo released a few updates at the end of 2023 and also most recently in February of 2024 that are really cracking down on email marketing and making it a lot harder for you to land in the primary inbox. If you don't know what's already changed, then a lot of your emails are going to be more likely to land in spam, and nobody can read your emails or buy from you if your emails are landing in spam, because who checks your spam box? I don't, right? So really important that you have to know this, otherwise you'll struggle like most marketers are out there right now. Very important that you know what's going on. And recently I just did a live in our Facebook community to share exactly what's changed, what you need to know, how to be aware of it, how to make sure that you're still good. So hope you enjoy it. That's what this recording is from. And join me in the Facebook group if you want to actually be able to join some of these lives directly when I first do them. That way you can ask questions to me as well. But usually we'll post them to YouTube as well, or stream to YouTube, but not always. So make sure you're in the group. And if you're liking this video, if you're liking all of my videos, please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and smash that subscribe button. I post at least one new video every week around scaling an agency or B2B business. And if you like these videos, I got plenty more coming. So please subscribe and enjoy the video. All right, guys, I'm going to share my screen in a moment and walk you through what you need to know in order to make sure that in 2024, you're not getting screwed by landing in the spam box. Because if you're doing any kind of email marketing, emailing a list, doing cold email outreach, you need to know what's changing right now. These changes are going to make it harder for you to land in the primary inbox. They're going to make it harder for you to actually get your email to your leads, to your prospects, right? So if you ignore this, if you don't know what's happening, you're going to get left behind. You have to make sure you know these facts. Otherwise, you're going to see email campaigns tank. So quick story. Last month, we saw our email deliverability tank. Open rates went down. We were getting less leads from our email marketing. So once I looked into it and realized what was going on, I knew I had to tell other people about this, right? Because this hurt us. It caused a drop in leads, a drop in revenue. And we do a lot of email marketing. We do email marketing to our list through iLevel, and we do cold email outreach through Instantly. You guys know we've been doing cold email for a long time here, right? And we've taught over 76 different agency owners and solopreneurs about cold email, worked with them specifically in our coaching program, right? So we know what's going on in the cold email space. We know what's going on in the lead gen space. And I'm going to share with you guys what I realized, what I discovered, what I learned. Gmail's posted their entire update. They've posted a whole article about what's changing and what you need to know. So they're very transparent. They're saying like, hey, here's how we're being more strict. And here's what you need to make sure you do so that in 2024, you don't have your emails landing in spam. Because if your emails land in spam, nobody can read them. And that means nobody can buy from you, right? So Gmail shared a really lengthy article, but I know a lot of you guys like me don't want to read a really lengthy article. So I read the article for you, and I'm going to add my own take on it. And I'm going to show you how I fixed this problem for myself and how I'm helping our clients and our students at Revenue Boost fix the same problem. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to crack right into the meat. You guys should be able to see my screen now. I'm sharing this on Miro. And basically, look, okay, so a lot of marketers are actually really worried, and some are straight up freaking out because they heard about this update, and it's a lot stricter now in terms of spam and getting your emails delivered. People across the board are seeing their open rates just go down, myself included. We fixed it. Our open rates have went up. So I'm here today to share with you what we've learned and what you can do about it so that you get more results, more sales, more money from your email efforts, whether it's cold email or a list. So here's my screen. We're going to talk about the key things to know. So first of all, in 2024, what do you need to do to avoid spam? And by spam, if you send emails and they don't land in the primary inbox, if you don't follow these best practices I'm going to share with you in the next few minutes, then what's going to happen is your emails are going to land in promotion. Nobody checks their promotion. How many times do you go into your promotions tab or your spam folder and read emails? Never. If you actually want to get leads and make money from your emails and your cold emails, any kind of email marketing you do, you have to make sure it lands in the primary inbox. And by the way, this is like a pop-up training. When I saw how important this was, when I finally fixed this with my team, I wanted to share with you guys. So I didn't want to wait. This is just a really like off-the-cuff, impromptu training today. So I'm writing this as we're going. I'm just really telling you guys what we did over the last few weeks. So what do you need to do? First thing is you must have a one-click easy unsubscribe link. People need a way to tell you they don't want your emails, and it must be easy. So if you read Gmail's 2024 report, you're going to find out that they want you to make their unsubscribe option easier. What does that mean? when you email your prospects and your readers, you absolutely must have an easy way for them to opt out. And here's the thing, what a lot of marketers do is they try to trick people, right? They make their unsubscribe link small and tiny because they don't want people to unsubscribe. They want people. So it's a common practice in the space, which now is not going to work, which is why you guys need to understand this stuff and change what you're doing to get more results. A lot of marketers, they hide the unsubscribe link or they make it really small, like they have it. So technically they're compliant, but in 2024, they will not be compliant and they'll get into big trouble if you don't do this. Because you can get fined especially if you're emailing businesses in the EU, you can get fined for not following the best cold email and GDPR practices. I taught a course with Founder. I co-created a course on cold email with Founder, and we had a whole module on GDPR because, again, you can actually get into legal trouble if you just spam people at a high volume and you don't follow these things. So not to scare you, but you just got to know the basics, which is what I'm teaching you guys today. So if you hide your unsubscribe or you make it small, here's what happens. Let's say I send an email to a list of prospects. If I make it really hard for them to opt out because I make the unsubscribe option really small and they don't want to hear from me, what they're going to do is they're going to just mark me as spam. Because think about this. If you don't want to get someone's emails and you don't know how to unsubscribe, you're going to mark it as spam. And that brings on point number 2. If you're doing any emails in 2024, which you should be, right? We get so much revenue from email marketing. You need to make sure people have a one-click unsubscribe. And the spam rate it's been said by the report, it's less than 3%. So what does spam rate mean? If I send 100 emails and one person marks me as spam, my spam rate is 1%. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot. Out of 100 emails, one person marks you as spam. One grumpy person who got annoyed by your emails marks you as spam. That's not a lot. So this is way, way lower. This is really the root of the problem, guys. Okay, in order to understand how we can be successfully sending emails and how we can actually be following Gmail's rules and landing in people's inbox, we have to know how Gmail works, how their algorithm works, right? So here's the 2 things Gmail cares about, and even Microsoft, other providers also care about, is this. Number 1, interactions. Number 2, spam complaints. I find that when it comes to email deliverability, it's really complicated because there's so many things to learn, and it's a black box, right? Email deliverability is really complicated because there's not really a whole list of exact rules that Gmail publishes. And you don't really know how their algorithm works or exactly what they care about. But from my experience and from doing this for years and years, here's the 2 things that are most likely to put you in Gmail trouble. Basically, that's the best way to say it, right? The best way to get into Gmail jail and to have a lot of people marking you as spam and to have your email open rates going down and down and the reply rates as well is when you have minimal interactions. So what does that mean? You send 100 emails, nobody opens, replies, that looks bad. Gmail thinks you're a spammer, right? They have all of this just automated, right? So you want interactions. How do you fix this? You must get replies and conversations started. Replies make you look good. This is why I always advise against putting links in your cold email. Links in warm email is okay, but still, you want to get people replying to you. You want to get people emailing you back. When you just try to funnel everyone to a link, that means you don't get replies. And that also means that Gmail thinks you're spamming. So it's as simple as that, guys. I know that email deliverability and all the tech behind this stuff and all the tools, I know it can be complicated. I've dealt with the same problem myself forever. But my goal is to simplify this stuff as much as possible so you guys can get more leads and more clients from email. And to simplify it, you need to get people to reply to you, right? For an example, you can write emails such as getting feedback. Email people and ask for feedback. Ask for an answer, right? As in questions, not statements. For example, CTA is want more information. They're going to reply and they're going to say, yes, more information, send me the link. That's better than giving them the link because you want them to reply to you, right? So that's how you basically get your interactions up, which helps you reduce your spam score, which you have to stay lower than 3%, which brings on to point number 2, spam complaints. So when you're doing email marketing, again, whether you're emailing a list, whether you're emailing customers, whether you're doing cold email and you're reaching out to new prospects who've never heard of you to try to get booked calls, no matter what kind of email you're doing, you have to avoid spam complaints. So when someone doesn't like your message, they will sometimes report you as spam. If this happens more than 3% or 0.3% of the time, which is not a lot at all, so the standards have been raised, they're getting stricter and stricter, which is why we need to be learning what's happening. We need to be making these changes in our business so that we don't get screwed by landing in spam. If this happens at more than 3% of the time, Gmail will flag your email domain and even IP. What does that mean? It means that your results go down and you're landing in promotions tab spam, not reaching your prospects. Look, guys, why do we send emails? It's because we want to make money. We want to get more leads, get more clients, right? Even if you're doing emailing to your clients and you just want to like keep them informed, you need your emails to get delivered. If your emails don't get delivered, then nobody's going to read your offer and your copy. It doesn't matter how good your offer is. If it's not getting delivered, if no one's actually seeing it, what's the point of even emailing people, right? So step one with any kind of email marketing is the tech. First step is get to the inbox, right? If you don't get to the inbox, if you don't get to the primary inbox, if people aren't reading your message, you're not going to get leads or sales. It's literally just like talking to yourself, right? So with that said, don't talk to yourself, get replies, avoid spam complaints, and monitor your stats, right? Okay, let's back up here and summarize a bit. I want to make this as simple as possible. My goal is to simplify this stuff as much as possible because it's extremely complicated, or it's not actually that complicated, but it just appears complicated. So really like these two things are the most important things, right? You need interactions and you need positive interactions, right? You need people to open, reply, and click. If you're not getting opens, replies, or clicks, you got to stop sending so many emails and you got to pause your campaigns and fix it, because otherwise you're just talking to yourself and sending emails to people's spam box. That's step one. Step two is don't get spam complaints. So how do you do that? If people are marking your email as spam, then you know that Gmail is going to not like you and they're going to put you in jail and you're going to be landing in spam inbox. So how to avoid getting marked as spam? First, have the right list. The number one reason that people mark your email as spam is they do not want to hear from you. Therefore, talk to people who do want to hear from you. Do not blast your email to a loosely created list with a broad audience. Small lists that are fine-tuned to represent your avatar, also known as ICP, are the way to go. Okay, guys, quick question. Have you ever opened up a cold email and the person sending you the email is offering you something that sounds cool, but it's just not for you? Of course, I get all these cold emails, right? And I always look at them because I'm in the cold email space. So I'm always looking at cold emails I get. Sometimes I get emails and I'm like, oh man, like I shouldn't be on your list. It's like what you're offering sounds cool, but it's not for my business. You're wasting time, you're wasting money by sending me this email. So I always can tell if the person needs to refine their targeting and their lists better. And you get this too. I get emailed a lot. Oh, are you hiring software developers? And I'm like, dude, if you took one look at my business, you'd know that I do not need software developers. It has nothing to do with it. So has that ever happened to you? Have you ever had someone email you and you're like, what they're selling is just completely irrelevant to your business? What's going to happen? If someone emails you something and the offer isn't really relevant to your business, you're not going to reply, you're not going to interact, and you might even mark it as spam. So yeah, step one is set up your tech properly. That comes down to DNS records, using the right tools, using email warmup. But assuming you have tech set up, you need to make sure you're getting positive interactions, opens and replies, and you need to make sure that your spam complaints are less than 3%. And how do you do these two things? You send emails to the right people. Then also you have to send good copy that's not salesy, not aggressive, short and simple. The copy just needs to be like simple and not salesy. When you're very aggressive in the copy, following up too much, following up too often, and asking people too much for a meeting, that's going to turn some people off. So send copy that's not salesy and aggressive. And that's really the biggest thing. And also avoid spam words. So avoid words like free, avoid characters like money. You can Google what are the common spam words, but I'll be honest with you guys, looking at Gmail's, we're here today because we're talking about what's new and what's happening in the cold email space, and not even cold emails, any email marketing. All of you guys here probably do some form of email. And if you don't, you got to start, because like we make a lot of our sales, a lot of money from our email marketing efforts. So if you're doing email, you need to know what's changing. And honestly, I was talking with the founders of GetRift, which is a really cool eval tool we're testing. I was talking with the founders and they were saying to me, and I believe this as well, look, you want to avoid words like free and money and sale. If you use words that kind of indicate you're selling stuff, that can trigger Gmail filters. So if you're sending out emails and you have a lot of words like free, $ sale, and also if you have like links, images, videos, these things you want to avoid as much as possible, because they trigger spam filters. Because again, from Gmail's perspective, if their algorithm detects all these spam words that are like likely to indicate that you might be selling something or promoting something too hard, and if there's links, that could be also like part of some scam, right? Gmail has these policies because they want to avoid people getting scammed over email, and they want to avoid spam because they want to provide positive user experience. So even if your links, even if you're sending images, even if you're using words and copy that is not really like scamming, even if you're sending a really great offer, you could be sending a really great offer that is genuine and it has good reviews and it really helps people. Even if you have an amazing offer and amazing copy, you got to realize it's not like Gmail's sitting there, and it's not like they have team members that are looking at your emails. They have algorithms, and their algorithms detect certain words that trigger their algorithm to bump your score down and indicate that you might be spamming, right? So even if you have a great offer, great product, but you're using some of these words or using links, images, and videos, like this is a problem because Gmail, that's going to trigger Gmail's algorithm and they're going to think, okay, this person might be spamming. Let's scrutinize them more. So avoid using these things as much as possible. But also, guys, I don't think this really matters as much anymore. This used to matter more, and everyone I'm talking to in the space is saying the same thing. It's more about these two things. So focus on these two things. Yes, you want to make sure you're not using spam words. You want to make sure you're avoiding links, images, videos. But these are the main things that we believe Gmail cares about the most. And it's what I'm hearing from a lot of other experts I'm connected to. So anyways, guys, I'm going to end the training. If you have questions, comment below. Appreciate you watching. Again, this is a training for marketers who use email to generate revenue. Whether you're emailing a list, whether you're cold emailing prospects, like this is what you need to know if you want to succeed and not fail in 2024. And I say that like wholeheartedly, like this is not just a small little tip I'm giving you here. You will fail and you will land in spam if you do not know these two things. So the game's changing, the game's getting harder, but that's okay because I'm here to help you guys simplify the solution so that you can stay on top, keep getting clients from cold email. Anyways, guys, if anyone wants further information, just shoot me a DM, comment below. If anyone wants to actually like really start getting more revenue from email, if you actually want to start or scale cold email, like tons and tons of agencies, and we've helped over 400 agencies actually start and scale cold email outreach to get clients in so many different niches, right? Restaurants, franchises, home services, finance, solar, design, branding, B2B, tech, consulting, like all these different niches, right? So cold email works really well in any B2B space. If you're interested to start cold email or you're doing it and you want to scale it and you want some expert help so you can increase the performance and start making more revenue from it. And ultimately, if you want some help getting some more clients from cold email, or you want to just know at least where to get started, shoot me a DM. And also, if you want to book a call with my team, we do have a few more spots for 2024 where we actually help you launch your cold email. We help you start it or scale it. We also help you with LinkedIn. We also help you with sales, follow-up, and closing deals from the leads that we're helping you get from cold email LinkedIn. So if you're interested to get more information, if you're interested to potentially start or scale LinkedIn and cold email lead gen in the next few months, we do have a few more spots for our private coaching program. If you're interested to get some help from an expert and a team that knows their way around cold email and LinkedIn and agency sales, then just shoot me a DM. We can book a time with our team, look over what you're doing, give you some tips, give you some value, and show you how we can help you in 2024. So anyone who wants expert help to speed up the process, just shoot me a DM and we can chat to see if it's a good fit for you. If not, if you're not ready to work with an expert, hope you keep enjoying our free trainings and I'll see you in the group. But either way, let me know if this training was valuable and I'll see you soon. So thanks, guys. Appreciate you watching.